We Ain't Found Sith.
Warning, the following podcast contains speculation, which may be confused with spoilers, although it may also contain spoilers. You have been warned.
Hello, and welcome to We Ain't Found Sith, issue 61. We are coming to you live on Independence Week. I'm calling it that because I am off from work this week. I am celebrating Independence Day
You're off the whole week?
I'm off for a week, yeah.
Nice.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything, but I am off from work. I am being joined tonight by my co-host, as usual, Pedro. Who has got an avatarless. He's just
shoot! I forgot to put the avatar today. My bad.
You can still do it.
And my other co-host, Gus.
Yoga Fire.
Hey, and we are being joined by our special guest here to talk some video game with us tonight. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people and let them know who you are?
My name is George, born and raised in Miami. I'm into cars, video games, computers. Pretty much, I've played any and every video game you could think of. Old school gaming, new school. I'm into.
There you go, George. So that's George. There you go. Now, George, as we can see, you are currently outside. You are braving this pandemic. We are, and we're seeing the flashes of thunder behind you. So you might want to not go too far from the door. You might have to run inside. George, for those of you who are listeners of the show who have been listening to us since we first went on the air, George is brother of Anthony, who was on with us, I want to say around the same time of E3 last year.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, the deep baritone voice kind of that runs in the family.
My voice isn't that deep. His is way deep.
Hey, no, but you still got a nice baritone on you, man. No short. So guys, obviously George, you're hyped up. You're here to talk Last of Us with us today.
Yeah,
but before we get into that, we got a couple of house cleaning things to do on the Facebook group. Starting with there was a post this week, Gus, if you wanna throw that up there.
Yep.
And the post simply read, the keys are in the ignition. Which one of these are you taking? And basically, the choices are: you've got the Dukes of Hazzard's Dodge Charger, you've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future, you've got the Pontiac Trans Am from Knight Rider, the Ford Gran Torino from Starsky and Hutch. I'm pretty sure it didn't say which James Bond. I'm pretty sure that's the Aston Martin DB5 Vantage from Goldfinger.
Oh, I thought that was the Jaguar.
No, I feel like Jaguar was like 90s Bond.
No, that was
that Mercedes?
I don't remember what it was in the 90s.
But if you're talking classic Bond, it's Aston Martin.
Okay, so then it's in Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got the Ford Falcon conversion for Mad Max.
Yay!
And this is probably the longest name I've ever seen. The Cadillac Miller Meteor Futura ambulance conversion from Ghostbusters. You've got the 18's GMC Vandura van. I looked it up. Both cars from Miami Vice. This appears to be from the later seasons of Miami Vice. The 86 Ferrari Testarossa.
Nice.
Or the 82 Ferrari 308 from Magnum PI.
All right.
So, guys, first part of this question. It is not a car in the real world. It's the actual car from the story. What are you taking?
DeLorean.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was pretty obvious,
down, right?
Yeah. After you said it's not a real world car, it's the car in the story. Yeah, why wouldn't you go with DeLorean every time?
I mean, this is a stupid question. So now let's get to the real question, which it's obviously it's not the movie story car. It's just the actual real life version of it. So you can't go back in time. All you can do is drive it around, take it to conventions and stuff like that. What do you choose?
Ghostbusters.
Okay.
I kind of like that Mad Max car. Not gonna lie, man. Mad Max has a special place in my heart, bro. It's pretty brutal.
All right. How about you, Gus?
Bro, I'm going to Miami Vice, man. Come on.
You taking the Testarossa?
Roll up to
All
the
right.
fucking Heat games in a Miami Vice whip.
Yeah,
Wearing
actually,
my fucking Vice jersey. That's the only way to do it.
yeah, that's actually a pretty good one.
All right.
Full on
I'm
Miami
taking-
Sapingo.
Hold on. Who would go with A Team?
I
Who?
am. I'm going with the A Team.
Dude, that's the creepiest car in the bunch.
Taking the
bro.
A Team van, bro. I'm fucking fixing that shit up. It's gonna have a nice interior.
Oh man, I was about to. I was gonna say it looks like one of those. Come here, little kids. I got candy. One of those situations.
The paint job on the outside is staying the same. Like, that's not, that's. And if you remember the A Team van, the interior was a dope interior. It had
Shag carpeting.
seats.
Shag carpeting all on the inside.
No, I think it had like 4 captain seats, and I think it had like a mobile command center.
And the cassette tape is stuck in there. It just loops Master of the Puppets over and over again.
That's an old
actually
school
not a
reference
bad
for all
thing.
you boys and girls who are keeping up.
Of all the things in the world that can be stuck in there, Master of Puppets is not a bad one to have. It's like,
No. They do it.
But yeah, I'm the odd one out. I'm taking the 18 van, man.
Oh man, sorry
Updating the interior on that thing,
Sorry to throw you under the bus like that, but I wasn't expecting that one. The creepy van.
I am a large man. Of all the cars
No,
that
you're gonna get pulled over in that van left and right, man. I'm sorry, bro. That's like a creeper van.
by cops who want to take pictures with the 18 van. That's what I'm gonna get pulled over by. I don't fit in the Ferraris, and I'm pretty sure I don't fit in the Aston Martin. I saw our buddy's DeLorean, and I think if I got into the DeLorean, I couldn't get out of it.
The DeLorean's kind of tight.
The Dodge Charger, you can't drive in today's day and age unless you paint the thing to a different color. Which, by the way, does anybody not think that there should have been like a rival crew that came in for an episode driving like a blue and yellow car with a colonial flag on the tube called like the General Grant or something like that? Like, was that not a missed opportunity?
Oh,
They should have done it. Why don't we take the DeLorean back in time and make it happen?
Right? There you go.
Here's some ideas.
But I'm not a sports car guy, man. I'm a large van. I don't fit in most sports cars. I'm taking the 18 van because that Ghostbusters ambulance is a car from 1959 that I just feel like things on it are just gonna be breaking left and right. At least the 18 van's an 80s van.
Bro, that Ghostbusters whip is a chick magnet, dog. You know how many chicks that want to take pictures in that car with you, bro?
Oh, I have a ton of them. I know. You just wouldn't be able to do anything with them, whereas the van only has.
Oh, I don't know, man. There's a big ass back.
He's thinking.
Back area.
Wait. He's thinking 4 steps ahead. He's thinking about after he's got them.
When you slide open the door and there's a bedroom in the back of the van.
That Ghostbusters car is literally meant to lay down in.
Yeah.
One
that's like
person.
Plenty of space. Plenty of space, bro.
Anyways, that does it for the nerd whip. A great question. I love when you guys post things like that on the group chat because honestly, it gives us like something to talk about on the show. So thank you guys for posting that in the chat. Keep those things coming. That's obviously something that contributes to us, and I love commenting on random stuff like that. So. And speaking of that, there was a post that went up yesterday, and Edwin over at Lemon City kind of asked me to touch on it. Gus, you got the image? There you go. So Zach posted this in our chat, and obviously, right off the bat, you could tell that this is someone who really, really loves Jurassic Park and absolutely hates the sequels.
Well,
so they just wanted to like draw something that would like proportionally show how much they hate the sequels of Jurassic Park.
No. Let's call it what it is. This is the most accurate bar fucking diagram in the planet. It's perfectly accurate right there.
Yeah, it is.
I disagree.
The first one.
I
disagree.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park, the first one.
as bad as The Lost World Jurassic Park is, it's not a more horrible sequel than like the Planet of the Apes movies or freaking Matrix movies.
Oh, I wasn't looking at it like that. Each one of those graphs are contained within their own like category. And Jurassic Park, the first one, is leaps and bounds better than everything else. Like Lost World, fucking World, Jurassic World is just leaps and bounds better.
Oh, the way I took it,
That shit made me laugh when I saw that. Not gonna lie. I'm like, yeah.
So the way I read this is because there are no numbers on any of this. Is that basically their love of Jurassic Park is so high that like they had to draw it off the charts.
Yeah.
Like if you notice at the top of the image, there's no black line at the top of the image. That blue line.
Oh, it keeps going. It keeps
but you
going.
can't compare that to like the other ones.
Well, I think Jurassic Park, the first one, was absolutely mind blowing. If you remember and you saw the dinosaurs and everything, it blew your freaking mind.
Oh yeah,
None of those
I
other
don't.
movies
I
blow your mind like Jurassic Park ever did. Like,
I don't disagree with that. But you could say the same thing for the effects in Star Wars: A New Hope or Superman 1 when they first came out.
Yeah, but it's not as funny, the contrast, because all of Star Wars is like it's all like equally good. Indiana Jones, all equally good. Even the Matrix, even though actually Matrix could be right next to Jurassic Park. Number one, leaps and bounds better than both of the other pieces of shit that came after that.
First of all, have you gone back and have you rewatched any of the Matrix movies?
I have. The first one's good. The rest of them are.
Well, it's just that they're so CGI heavy. And the CGI in the early part of the decade was so like, it was great for the time, but now you go back and you look at that fight between like Neo and all the Agent Smiths.
Was it also great for Morris Day?
No, that time is classic and will never die.
All right.
That time is always good.
The Matrix was all about that camera trick where they did the whole 360.
Yeah.
But the CGI in that and the CGI in most movies from the early 2000s, when you go back and you look at it, it's like, oh wow, I could definitely tell that's CGI.
Yeah.
Like it's not seamless.
I mean, it was 90s, bro.
Yeah, man.
But there's a couple of other little issues that I have with this list, and that is so going right down the line. Star Trek is not a trilogy. Star Trek has like
episodic, isn't it?
Well, it's like 6 movies with the original cast, and then like another like 3 to 4 movies with the new generation, like the next generation cast. All in all, over a dozen movies.
Well,
then you have
newest,
like the Star
about the newest
Trek.
Star Trek?
That's what I was gonna say. Then you have the new ones, but
that was a trilogy, isn't it?
There's 3 of them. I don't know if they're gonna make more, but I'll be honest, like I don't even think of them when I think of Star Trek.
I mean, they made more Star Wars, so that's technically not a trilogy.
Star Wars. This graph is incorrect with Star Wars because everybody knows the Return of the Jedi is better, at least better than A New Hope, by far. Easily.
I have a question about Batman. Which Batman do you think they're referencing there? The Dark Knight?
Oh, obviously the original.
I think it's got to be the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
Not
the originals weren't a trilogy either.
No.
The original was technically there was 4 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I forget about that last one. That was like so bad.
Nipples Batman.
So here's the thing. So Star Wars, I'll forgive because technically there are 3 Star Wars trilogies. Because each segment of the story has been split into 3 movie sections. Indiana Jones. Well, we will forget that the 4th one was ever even made. We'll only look at the original trilogy. Matrix trilogy. Star Trek, I will only accept the trilogy if it's Star Trek 2, 3, and 4.
Con!
Yeah.
Wait. I just saw Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2, the Raimi.
Oh, the Raimis. The Raimis.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Generally considered to be better than Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, no, it is. I thought this was the new Marvel Spider-Man, but I don't even know if they have a third one yet.
But before we jump ahead, Superman, there were 4 of them.
Yeah, Superman.
And I grew up on Superman 4. I did not know it was a bad movie growing up because I was like, I was a kid. What the hell did I know?
That happened.
Nuclear Man scared the hell out of me. but it is better than Superman 3. The X-Men, there's been like 18 of those.
Yeah.
Like what are you
Which
picking
X-Men
the
movies are we
Bryan
talking?
Singer X-Men 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that's why number
Bryan
3
Singer,
is.
They're all trash.
which Bryan Singer didn't even do 3. But I'm chucking that out the window. There are too many sequels to the X-Men movies. Spider-Man, yes, the Raimi trilogy. Lord of the Rings, is Lord of the Rings 3 movies or just one long one? I know that if I sit down to watch it, I'm sitting down to watch all 3 of them. I'll never watch one without the others.
No, there's 3 movies, bro.
Yeah,
If
man.
Star Wars is 3 movies, that's definitely 3 movies.
All right, so we'll accept Lord of the Rings. Because we are distinguishing between Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Mad Max. There's also been like
3.
like 4 or 5 of those.
With Fury Road, it's 4.
With Fury Road is 4.
Yeah.
And you'd have to count
I like
Fury
that movie.
Road because that's the same director coming back and doing
Right, but
it.
I wouldn't consider that a trilogy because it was the Mel.
So you're
Gibson.
looking at the Mel Gibson trilogy.
Exactly.
All right. Jaws. There's a 4th Jaws.
No.
There is.
Yeah. With
know
Michael Caine and it takes place in the Bahamas.
Yeah. This time, Jaws brought his hammerhead friends.
Well, I think it was Jaws: The Revenge. No, that's the 4th one. Back to the Future trilogy. Yes, definitely belongs on there.
Yeah, but I think they have 2 and 3 too close together there.
It's kind of a thing. So Back to the Future is the first one that I can remember that as soon as Part 2 ended, it immediately went into a trailer for Part 3.
Yeah.
And are like, this story will conclude in Back to the Future 3. And I kind of feel like together they're like one long movie.
Yeah, but there's still 3 movies, and
No, yeah, but I think 2 and 3 are like, I think they're neck and neck.
I don't think
like, you don't think they're neck and neck, Gus? So you got to clear.
No, I'm not saying I dislike 3. I enjoy it, but they're not neck and neck to me.
I don't know, man. I feel like they're really, really close together.
Oh yeah,
Die Hard.
Feel free to talk, bro.
Huh?
Feel free to say something.
Yeah,
Dude.
like if you got an opinion, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh no. I'm looking at all the movies that I could really remember. Like for instance, the Blade trilogy. I love Blade. The Blade
Oh
movies.
yeah,
those were dope. I don't know.
I think they have Blade.
The second one really is the best one. That I can tell you.
Which one do you think is the best one?
The second one.
Oh yeah.
Blade.
Oh yeah, and I think it's hard to disagree. I think we all like the story with like the vampires that feed on other vampires. That was a cool thing. I know that as someone who read the stories of the Strain that Guillermo del Toro went on to co-write, I definitely know that he pulled, because the way that he describes the vampires in the Strain, I immediately like, oh, these are like the vampires that he designed in Blade 2, because Blade 2 is a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Oh, it is? No
Yeah.
wonder I love this one. I mean, you guys have seen Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah. Oh, our love for Guillermo del Toro is very well known.
Yeah, no, I love him too.
Yeah.
I love him too.
But I think Blade 3 is ranked too low.
I agree.
I know it's not the best one of the trilogy by far.
Ryan Reynolds is in it, damn it.
And he does a good job in it. Like
He does.
It's actually a pretty damn good conclusion to the story. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not horrible.
You know what? We were talking about Ryan Reynolds yesterday on Lemon City Live, and I have a question for you. Did Ryan Reynolds bulk up for Blade 3 or for Amityville?
I mean, you'd have to look to see what was filmed first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt that somebody maybe he was bulking up for Blade 3.
Yeah, because I remember I remember them saying, "Oh, he bulked up nicely for this movie, and it just so happened that it also worked for the other one." But I don't remember which one was which.
Well, I mean, it's a simple Google search away.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that though. Why when I can ask DB?
There you go. I'm good. I'm not that good. I remember they both came out around the same time.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Damn it.
You know what I like about Blade? I don't remember which one it is, but the soundtrack for one of them is fucking amazing. Where they took a bunch of like EDM guys and they had rappers. They like did a collaboration with a rapper.
I think that's
I don't
2.
know.
Is that two?
Yeah.
That soundtrack is fucking tight as fuck.
Okay, so Blade Trinity, 2004. Amityville Horror, 2005.
Okay.
It doesn't mean a whole lot because obviously, like, you can film a movie in like 2003 and not release it till 2005.
That's true.
But given the fact that Blade Trinity is probably a more special effects heavy movie, it probably makes sense that Blade Trinity was filmed first. So yeah, it probably just he got bulked up for Blade Trinity, and then it just so happens that like they took advantage of it for Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the ladies, to please
Yeah.
the ladies in the theaters. That's all that was for. You know how many women talked about that?
Blade 3 is
True
not awful, Bruno. Like I don't like people who down talk that movie like it's crap. It's not. It's not as good as 2 because obviously 2 tells a really really good story, and obviously 1, you know, like we hadn't seen that before. It was new. It was all new. Blade 3, you know, yeah, it redoes some of the stuff that we had already saw. Obviously, Triple H is not the best actor, so having him as one of your bad guys is, you know, not that great. But it's got this guy from.
He wasn't the worst I've ever seen.
No, pretty. I mean,
he did his job.
Considering that he's like a bad guy henchman.
Yeah.
You know, not a bad job at all.
To his face?
Sure.
Yeah, I would tell him straight up. As a wrestler, you are one of the best, one of the greatest of all times, a future Hall of Famer. As an actor, you know, I'm sorry, I just didn't buy you in that role. Like, you know, it is what it is.
You ain't the Rock, homie. You ain't the Rock.
No one's the Rock. And I think we need to draft the Rock for president.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's what we need to do.
Just nominate him at the convention. The people of Florida nominate the Rock.
Yeah, who just
like, wait, what? He's not even on the ballot. We don't care. We're forcing him to do it. Could you imagine The Rock would get up at like 4 a.m, hit the gym, get his like morning briefing while he's doing deadlifts, and then be on the phone with like Putin at like 6 a.m.
What would be the name of that third party that The Rock?
And then by 8 a.m. he's people's elbowing him.
Man. Planet of the Apes. That's another one. Was there 3 on the most recent movies?
I think it was 4.
And I know that the original one there's like 20 Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah. I like the new ones though.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah. Another thing, I hate people who just shit on Godfather 3. Like, Godfather 3 tells a good story. I understand Sofia Coppola is not the best actress.
If you're from Miami and you're hating on Godfather 3, you're just a piece of shit. Because Andy Garcia's in it. You got to put on for your
automatic
hometown boy.
love.
Yeah, man.
But either way, like, it's not a horrible movie. It's not a piece of shit movie.
No.
Like, but people treat it like it's like, oh, they ruin it because people wanted Michael Corleone to retire as the like rich, lavish lifestyle, and doesn't tell that story. You know, it tells the truth, which is that, you know, if you're a criminal and you make your life as a criminal enterprise, like, things don't always end right. You know.
Yeah.
That was,
again, Rocky. Why is Rocky on this list? There's like 20 Rocky movies.
Seriously.
I mean, I understand most people don't like 5, but if you just do Rocky 1, 2, and 3, then he never ends contact.
But that Terminator one is perfect. Because that's legit.
For the first 3 Terminator movies, yeah. Forgetting that there's like another 3 that came after that.
Yeah, but those don't matter. Except for the last one, it's considered a 4th.
Rambo. Again, there's been like 5 Rambo movies.
Yeah, so that don't matter.
Yeah. Batman, if you're talking the Dark Knight trilogy.
Then this is completely wrong because the second one is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
I think
the third one is bad.
Freeze and the Riddler.
No, because those are 4. Those are bad.
I think those are 4.
The best one is Batman and Robin with Mr. Freeze. I think that's the best one.
Chill out. Chill out.
It's got the best puns and one-liners delivered by a villain.
I get slapped up for saying that, bro. If I go to like a comic book convention and say that is the best
one. There is always a place in this world for horrible, campy movies. that are totally quotable. I'm sorry.
Facts.
Like,
I liked
You
it.
can't-
I thought it was funny.
if you love like cheesy horror films, like cheesy B-level horror films, you gotta love Batman and Robin. And then Aliens, another one where there's been like 5 Alien movies. Not even count.
And they even bleed over into.
I'm one
bleed
that
over-
thinks that the first one is better than the second one, but the second one is godlike.
Of the Alien movies,
Yeah,
it's hard because they're 2 different genres of movie.
yeah, I know, but I just like, yeah, exactly. The 2 different genres, but me personally, as my personal opinion is the first one. I like the first one better.
Okay. I prefer Aliens over Alien. I prefer the Bill Paxton's game over, man.
Game over, man. Yeah.
Like I like that. Plus it's James Cameron. Terminator and Alien, 2 franchises where James Cameron directed the second movie, and the second movie is more liked than the first movie.
Ah, there you
Always
go.
raising the bar, that James Cameron. And then Jurassic Park, which is what they end this on.
Maybe he should have directed Titanic too.
No, the ship comes out of the ocean. In the year 2020, the Titanic comes out of the ocean because all the ghosts that are on that ship are just like, what the fuck are you guys doing to the planet?
Wait, wasn't that Ghost Ship? You guys
Did the
remember that
ship
movie? That's
sink in
totally
Ghost
could be
Ship?
part 2 of the Titanic.
Oh, man. And then obviously they end this on the Jurassic Park trilogy. I'm assuming the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Not counting the reboot of Jurassic World and Jurassic World 2. Which, by the way, Jurassic World 2, I saw it. Very similar to the Lost World Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Jurassic World movies are just soft reboots.
Yeah. But look, Jurassic Park 3 better than Jurassic Park 2, in my opinion. I don't, and I still think Lost World, for as bad as it is, it's still a fun movie. Like, I
like
still ate popcorn and watched that movie, even though it turned into Godzilla in the second half. But yeah, so obviously whoever created this meme, obviously big fan of Jurassic Park, did not like Jurassic Park 2, because the whole point of this image is to show how much they dislike the Jurassic Park sequels. But Edwin wanted to know where on here, like where on my trilogy meters, does the Bourne trilogy rank?
I fucking love those movies.
I'll be honest, man. I would put it in this list. I think the Bourne trilogy. I mean, if you talk about Bourne Identity, Supremacy, and Ultimatum, right? Was it a Bourne Identity, Supremacy? Fucking, I don't remember. Actually, and didn't they do a 4th one?
I don't even. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
And I'm not talking about the one with Jeremy Renner. I'm talking about like an actual 4th one with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Then
Bruno wants to know.
Jason Bourne.
Bruno wants to know if Jurassic Park 3 is the one with the 7-year-olds surviving in the jungle.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
Totally implausible, but it's a popcorn flick, bro. What do you want?
A better one.
But I would say if we're talking about the original Bourne trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
good fucking story, man.
Yeah.
I fucking enjoyed the hell out of the Bourne story.
Yeah,
I'm not
there
a
was
fan of the
4 of
shaky
them.
cam fighting, but story
I
wise,
like it. It makes me feel like I'm there.
yeah. But story
I got
wise,
punched in the face once
totally there.
watching it.
Any trilogies that you guys can think of not on this list? Anything that missed the cut?
You look, the Bourne Titanic is a nice James Cameron.
House of a Thousand
I like it.
Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and what's the other one? The last one that came out?
3 from Hell.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
That's a
the
good take.
third one was,
That's a good
really
take.
bad.
All right.
The first
that-
one was the first one and the second one were pretty damn good. I think the first one was the best, or the second. I can't remember, but those are pretty good.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Yeah. I mean, Pedro, anything that we might have missed? A trilogy of movies that.
Nah, I can't. think of
Dogma, Jane, Silent Bob Strike Back.
That's not a trilogy, though. I would say
Yeah,
that,
no,
but
because
it's not.
the three movies are very Jane, Silent Bob heavy, and then there's like the other ones that fall into
I
the
mean,
same universe but are not predominantly
Isn't there
Jane,
Jay and
Silent Bob
Silent Bob
movies.
too?
Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen
Um,
it.
Bruno says Yip Man, but there's 4 Yip Man movies, not 3.
yeah, that's true.
The Yip Man movies are solid.
Yeah, those are great movies.
The stories are pretty basic, but the fight scenes are amazing.
Oh, Rush Hour, bro.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Rush
Yeah.
Hour, Friday.
Did they make a 3rd movie in the High Noon series?
I don't know.
Because wasn't it like High Noon, Shanghai Nights?
I don't know. I don't know if they made a third one.
Was it High Noon or was it something else? The Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan movies.
I think that's just Shanghai Nights, and that's it.
Well, because there's the one where like they're out west, and then there's the one where like in England.
Oh, okay, man. I don't know. You got
Okay.
me there. That's your department.
Okay, I'd have to go back and do some research on it. Marco says Ip Man are all amazing, but there's 5 of them. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's 4 of them, unless there's a 5th one coming out. I know I have 4 of them. There are more than 4 Alien movies. I did mention that there was more than 4 Alien movies.
And they merge with the fucking Predator movies too, and then they become
if you get into that, it's
yeah. And then what's that movie where where they go to some planet somewhere and then they discover like a fucking egg that becomes
Prometheus?
yes,
Prometheus.
Prometheus. All of that is the same universe.
And wasn't there also Covenant or something like that? Alien Covenant that came out like a couple of years ago, which is another prequel.
Yeah, it was a sequel. It was a sequel. Yeah, it was a sequel to Prometheus, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Throw that comment up on the screen from Marco.
It's a prequel.
If I recall correctly, there were 7 Scorcher movies.
Oh
man. I love that movie's amazing. Freaking
Tropic Thunder, yeah.
Tropic Thunder. That movie is just awesome. I don't know of a trilogy, but they definitely need a sequel. And we need to find another race for Robert Downey Jr. to like portray for the movie.
Yes.
Like it needs to be like they need to like openly mention how like he was acclaimed for his role in the original movie, but that that's no longer acceptable, and they've come after him.
He needs to play. He needs to play a woman.
There you go. Okay, there's only 2 Shanghai movies. Okay, so there's that. But oh man, what would a sequel to? Now you got me thinking about what would a sequel to Tropic Thunder in today's culture look like? Les Grossman has been arrested because he was sexually assaulting women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean that character obviously it was a good job by Tom. First of all, I did not know until the end of the movie when his name came on the screen. I did not know that was Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it got me for a little bit. I realized it as it was happening, but not at the very beginning.
I did not realize until the movie was over and his name came up on the screen. And I went, "What?"
Yeah.
But he's obviously kind of based on Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And then I mean, there's just so many things they can do. Al Pacino having come out at the end of the movie. Obviously that's a story there. There's, I mean, I love Jay Baruchel as an actor, but I don't think he does anything for that character. He was the nerdy guy. That he ends up with Jennifer Love Hewitt in the end of the movie.
Yeah, the one that was actually an army guy.
You know what? He's left Hollywood as an actor, and now he's like a director or something. Like that's his story arc or whatever. But anyways, we're half an hour into this. We haven't gotten to our main event. For the rest of the show, we are going to be talking about The Last of Us, as well as The Last of Us 2. For those of you that have not played it, not have watched it, because maybe some of you don't like me. You don't have a PlayStation. You never played the game. You just watched it on YouTube like I did.
Me too.
Then, spoiler warning. We are going to spoil the hell out of it. We are going to get into the story details. So if you have not or are not interested in having this spoiled, now's your chance to jump out of the stream. Now's your chance to not listen to the show. Come back to us after you've checked it out. I definitely recommend checking out Last of Us. Last of Us 2, I recommend checking it out, though not as much. And that being said, let's jump into The Last of Us. Pedro, obviously, this was your homework assignment for us because you obviously are very passionate about that. And George, you're here specifically because we were going to talk about it. So I'm going to let you guys take the lead on this, and I'm going to sit back and just I'll tell you guys what I think.
Well, first I wanted to get an overall impression. We're not going to review Last of Us 1 because it's too old, and Last of Us 2 has plenty to review. But I would like to know, as a gameplay standpoint, that game is a fucking masterpiece. From the gameplay to the story, everything about the pacing, everything about that game is a masterpiece. But as a story goes, how did you guys who watched it, how did you guys feel about the story and how it ends, or just the progress through the entire game?
Me, I felt like it was a not shitty The Walking Dead.
That's fair. That's fair.
What The Walking Dead should have been, it should have ended after 4 seasons or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I don't get so much of a Walking Dead vibe from it as I do just it's a good fucking story. Forget the fungal infection that turns people into what appears to be zombie-like creatures.
Right.
It's just a good fucking story. This is a post-apocalyptic story that fits in any post-apocalyptic crisis. This could have been, nuclear fallout, and they were mutants or something like that. It's obviously something that what happens to the people is secondary, and the story itself is just super fucking good, man. Your main character is you get to know him immediately. You get to feel where he's coming from, and you basically with him every step along the way. You understand his motives completely.
Yeah. So it's safe to say you guys think that the game itself is great. It's
definitely
10 out of 10. You guys would give that a 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
You're
how
talking
about you?
The first one right now, right?
Yeah, first one specifically.
Yeah. No, the first one was incredible. It was really good.
Yeah.
It really set the stage and the tone.
Yeah.
That they wanted to follow. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't back down to the second one.
I think Last of Us 1 is a pillar in video game storytelling. Because if you look at it, after Last of Us 1 came out, a lot of games took that formula and tried to reinvent it. I mean, look at God of War. All of a sudden he's with his son. It was so perfectly executed. The first one was so perfectly executed where you give a shit about their relationship from the beginning all the way to the end. The beginning where he doesn't want anything to do with it, to the very end where he sacrifices everything to save her. You know what I mean?
They set it. I mean, they set it up from the beginning.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. From the very beginning,
with
of the
his
game,
daughter.
As his daughter.
Yeah,
So from the beginning, the first 20 minutes of that game, you already have motive to continue playing that game. His daughter died, and then 15 years later, the game starts.
Exactly.
So this is why the way he is. This is why he's an alcoholic.
Not only
crap about anybody. It sets the base from the beginning. You get to know the character from beginning to end, basically, and why they are that way.
I agree.
And why they feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
Not only that his daughter died, the way that she died.
Yeah. And this brings me to my next point. This is a controversial question. Did you guys agree or disagree with that ending? Because there are people who liked it and thought it liked it like I would do the same, and there are people who say he's an asshole. He shouldn't have done that.
I didn't reach the ending.
Oh,
just spoil it for me.
Yeah, no, it's happening.
How far did you get?
I got to Winter, where she.
Oh, that's such a fucking pedophile, rapist, fucking cannibals.
There was only a little bit of time left, but I didn't have time to finish.
Yeah.
So okay. So from there, just to catch
Mhm.
you up, Gus, she is able to get him some antibiotics, and get it to him. But then she gets captured by those guys.
Okay.
They basically they followed her. She realizes that they followed her, so she like jumps on the horse and tries to escape. But they catch her. But because she was able to get him the antibiotics, he's able to basically recover to the point where he basically tracks her down, finds where she's at, and rescues her. Although she kind of rescues herself a little bit.
Yeah, she's kind of a badass in that
Yeah.
segment.
Yeah.
And then they finally get to where they're going, and they finally get to the Fireflies. And when they get there, they get taken in. He gets knocked out. And when he wakes up, the girl from the beginning, the lady, the one that gave him the
That's-
mission,
Oh,
Maria, I think, or Pedro, the name of the
Oh,
Mir-
yeah, the black girl. I
Miranda?
forgot her name.
No, not Miranda.
I forgot her name.
maybe Miranda. She's the leader of the Fireflies.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
the leader of the Fireflies.
Or she was the leader of the group of Fireflies in his sector.
You're right.
She's there, and she basically explains to him that they're prepping her for surgery, and basically lets it out of the bag that the procedure will kill her.
Not necessarily the procedure. The fact that they're going to take the infection out of her arm, it's going to leave
No,
way.
it's not out of her arm. They're taking it from her brain.
No. No, it's out of her arm.
No,
But once
they did the X-rays and
It's in the brain.
where the bacterial infection is supposed to be in her brain.
right,
It hasn't spread, so they have to go in and they have to take it, and that's what'll
Yeah.
kill her.
It will kill.
oh,
her.
I
It's in the
understood
brain.
that it was the thing in her arm where she got bit that it wasn't
No.
letting it progress into her brain. If they take it out, it would progress to her brain and she would die. Whatever.
No.
Regardless of the fact, she would die through this procedure. That's the whole plot for it. And when he finds that out, he's in this dilemma like, fuck. Okay, I guess this is it. And then there's a
Well,
moment.
he tries to plead with him like, you can't
Yeah.
do this, you can't kill her,
Yeah.
and all of that, and they basically wind up tossing him out.
Yeah.
So he's not even getting his payoff or anything like that. Like, not that he would have cared about the payoff at this point in the story, but
Yeah.
they're just gonna toss him out, leave him out in the without any of his gear and any of that shit. They're just gonna fucking throw him out.
Exactly.
And he decides fuck this. And he takes out the soldier that was gonna take him out, and then he goes in to rescue her.
Yeah, and from there on out, it's just you're not touching my little girl. You know what I mean? From that moment on, this motherfucker wants to kill everybody.
I mean, the reason why, honestly, the reason why he did that, you could honestly understand him 100%. He already lost his daughter at the beginning of the game. You saw what happened. He wasn't going to let it happen again, and I don't think any person would. So that's why a lot of people a lot of people say, "Oh, he could have saved millions." Maybe it would have worked. We don't know 100% sure.
Exactly. And I would argue as well. When you play I played that game multiple times. The first time I played it, I just was on the fence. I was just in the mindset of, no, you're not touching my little girl. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'll let the world burn before you kill my daughter. You know what I mean? That's what my mindset. But after, I've heard people say that he did the wrong thing because he could have saved the planet and everybody could have whatever. But through the game, you start seeing his view on humanity. From the very beginning of the game, it wasn't the infection that killed his daughter. It was a fucking human with orders who killed his daughter. It wasn't like a mistake. They were told to kill him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how does someone's brain go from understanding how disgusting and vile humanity is to wanting to save it? You know what I mean? It's like we've gone too far. At this point, he's killed so many people. You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, to anybody that would tell you, oh, but they can create a vaccine and they can save the rest of humanity. Well, first of all, society has already broken.
Exactly.
So you're not gonna all of a sudden give a cure and all of a sudden the world's gonna go back to how it was before.
No,
that's
it's not
gonna happen.
Yeah. We're already savages. We've become savages.
Yeah. The millions of infected that were already infected, you're not turning them back.
Yeah.
It's not like this is gonna go and cure them and turn them back to being people.
Especially when they become clickers, the fucking fungus breaks through their skull. There's no coming back. You're dead.
Yeah. Second of all, who's to say the Fireflies can even produce enough vaccine for everyone?
Yeah.
Like they're working out of an old abandoned hospital that they're powering on a generator. How the fuck would they even be able to? Not to mention, like you still gotta like make the vaccine and test it and see if it works. Because it might only work with her DNA. It might not work with
Exactly.
other people.
Exactly. They could have killed her for nothing, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, his actions were warranted, and it's controversial because there's a bunch of people who are on the other
think
side.
about it. If it was your daughter, if
No,
you had a
fuck
daughter
no.
and they said that, you would do the same thing he would. You
Exactly.
I mean, I don't even have a
Exactly.
daughter, but I
Hell
wouldn't
no.
do that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The world could fucking burn. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then there's also the third. There's also a third option, which is they're somehow able to make a vaccine. It works, and now they turn into like the totalitarian government that puts their foot on everybody's neck and controls everything. And
True.
next thing you know, you're worse off than you were before. So
Exactly.
Yep.
So the reason why I was asking this is because this leads into Last of Us 2 perfectly. So the last thing in Last of Us 1 that is said between two characters is Ellie and Joel, and she asks, "I need you to swear to me there was no way, there was millions of or dozens of others," and then he says, "Yes, I swear." So he straight up lied to her because of selfish motives. That was the last thing you hear, and then it goes to black and credits, and that's how it ends. So we go back to Last of Us 2, which starts off, and you have Ellie when you're playing with Ellie, and they're in a society. They're like it's very civilized, where people are doing trading. They're obviously that she's going on patrol with her group, and they have to make sure the perimeter's clear. But they're living a very comfortable lifestyle now. They're not on the run anymore. They're living off the land because they have cattle. They have they have produce.
they're farming.
They're farming. They've got medicine. They have schools. They're raising children. As a matter of fact, there's a whole segment in the game at the beginning of the game where you learn to use the firing mechanics by playing snowball fight with a bunch of kids. So like it's a society where this whole savageness has gone out the window. It doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? So he's very comfortable. This is why I'm bringing it up, because a lot of people I've seen a lot of reviews saying that this game was shit because Joel made a big mistake in the beginning of the story where he told strangers his name. And I argue that because they don't tell you, they show you that his old self is gone. He's not on the run anymore. He's not in survival mode. You see it through his house. You saw how comfortable his house is. It's like very Western. He has like pictures of Ellie and pictures of his family on the wall. He has a couch. He has a coffee machine, which, like, come on, post-apocalyptic. He has a coffee machine because he likes coffee. You know what I mean? He
talked about that he got the coffee because he traded with a group of people that were coming through.
Exactly. So he's very much his old way of living, where kill or be killed, is gone out the window. He's very civilized now. So I mean, yes, they could have wrote it differently.
I think it's a little unrealistic to think that would happen in only 5 years after like 20 years of
but
the other way.
They couldn't make Ellie too old. You know what I mean? So I guess, but
yeah,
I think so. I ultimately gave the game a 9 out of 10 only because there's a character that you play as, that Abby, where you're thrown into like playing as her and sympathizing with her before the fact. And I think they could have done a little bit more with her for you to like her before she kills Joel. But that's about it. Everything else about that game, I think, is a fucking masterpiece. Like everything. So
I definitely am going to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
And I don't think this ranks. If Last of Us is a 10 out of 10, I would probably give this maybe like a 7 out of 10.
Oh, no way. Fucking no way.
I think.
Gameplay wise, like it's
the same game with added, with better mechanics. So gameplay wise, it doesn't really lose anything. Mm-hmm. Story wise, though, this story is just it's not as good in that I think the Abby story should have happened before you get to that point. Are we spoiling or are we not? Are we
Yeah,
trying
go
to keep
ahead.
this-
Yeah. Say whatever.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
you play like 2 missions with Abby, and then you find out that Abby's whole reason for being here is to kill Joel. You
Mhm.
find out that, and you don't know immediately why, other than obviously Joel did something that affected her in the past. You find out later, Abby is the daughter of the surgeon that Joel killed in Last of Us Part One.
Yeah, that was gonna do the
But
vaccine.
the reason why this gets a 7 out of 10 from me is that we should have learned that story before Abby kills Joel.
No, I disagree with that. I feel like
Once Abby killed Joel, I don't give a fuck about Abby. I'm sorry. I'm watching through the missions to watch through the missions so that I can find out what's. But I'm not invested in Abby. All I'm
Yeah, I
thinking
get
about
it.
is Ellie needs to get a revenge on Abby.
I
You didn't
see.
establish Abby as a sympathetic character before she did what she did.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
agree
see,
with
that's
you. I
why.
agree.
Hold on 1 second. That's why I think that was good writing, because
Yeah.
if you flipped it the other way around, where you did that, it's very conventional. It's like designed for you to like her, but the way they did it, not once. I don't think the director, the program. I don't think anybody in Naughty Dog wanted you to actually like Abby throughout the entire game. They just wanted you to sympathize with like what's going on with her, because if you didn't play it, but if you play through the game, you realize that Ellie is Last of Us 2 because she has a bunch of upgraded mechanics, and Abby is Last of Us 1. She plays just like Last of Us 1. Nothing changed. Or you have to get shivs, or you know what I mean? Like it's always the same shit.
Yeah.
So you're sympathizing with
I'm looking at it from a story point.
no, I know,
Look,
but I'm
listen,
saying
listen. Like they teach you basically what it is. If you look at it from another point of view, they teach you how your like basically revenge
yeah.
can be seen from both sides of the coin. So you're playing as Ellie, you see this happen to Joel, and all you want to do is kill Abby. And then all of a sudden it just flips on you. And then you're playing as Abby, you're like, fuck, I don't want to play as Abby. What the hell? I hate this person.
Exactly.
But then you start playing as her, and then you start realizing that she is on the same track that Ellie was. It's
Exactly.
the same thing.
It's
They're
the
both
same character.
the same. They're both going in the same way, and they just, they're like two opposing forces that crash against each other, but they're exactly the same.
But
and then you actually start to like Abby in a way, and you find out why she did it, because
that's the thing, is I never started to like Abby. At no point did I ever start to like her.
I get you. I did. I started to like. I guess because when you play the game, you hear the little minor conversations you have with the other characters that you probably won't see in the cinematics. But if you sit there, and
I don't know. The cinematic that I watched was over 8 hours long.
Yeah, but there's a lot of little things. Like, did you see the little like in between when she gets to the stadium and she talks to Marco? What was his name? Manny and his father.
Yeah, you get to talk to them.
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember exactly. It was an 8 hour long thing.
She talks to Manny and her father, or his father, and then later you go talk to this little Asian girl who's like putting a bunch of medicine in boxes, and then later Ellie goes and stabs her in the throat. Remember where she comes out of the water and she just fucking asks.
Yeah,
so,
all the characters that Abby interacted with that you saw were kind of cool and just down to earth people and just trying to protect their families.
Well, I know what they were trying to do. I just at that point I didn't give a shit anymore.
No, I know. That's why a lot of people disliked it. That's why I say it's a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10, because they could have handled it a little bit better to get like people who just as a storytelling. But
again, like this is something that like they could have so easily fixed, in my opinion, by just making it where you play as Abby, learn to get to know Abby, and then come to the real.
But you can't do that, because the whole point of this game is revenge. How are you gonna kickstart a revenge story without killing your favorite character? You know what I mean? You have to kill your favorite.
But the thing is, it didn't have to be
a lesson. It's literally a lesson. It teaches you a lesson. You hate this character so much, but then once you start playing as her, you start seeing that she's a normal fucking person. Whether you like her as much as Ellie or not, if you play through it, you just see that she's a normal person and that she's on the same path as Ellie. Really, like after
they're not bad people. Neither one or the other are bad people.
So you're starting to say that like it gets you thinking revenge and hurting people and killing them is not going to bring you any peace or anything else.
Exactly.
And that other person is on the same path as you, really going through the same shit. So
and I don't disagree with your points.
you know?
I just think that the way they went about it,
Oh no, but
that doesn't come across
at the end. But I would agree if the end didn't give me a payoff and I didn't feel something at the end. But at the end, even even at the very end, I still like obviously I like Ellie more. There's no way in hell you're not going to make me like Ellie more. You know what I mean? So like that segment where you have to fight Ellie and you have to try to kill her. Remember, like in the theater. That for me, the first couple of times I just stood there waiting for Ellie to kill me. I was like, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to kill Ellie. But then after a while, they force you. The game is literally forcing you to do shit that you don't want to do. And then at the very end, this is why I think it's genius writing, because you fucking feel something at the very end when she's on that stake. You almost feel like all of this was a mistake. None of this needed to get to this point. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like when you free her, I'm like, fuck, man, this was pointless for Ellie and it was pointless for Abby. Like Abby didn't need to go after Joel as much as she hated, because what happened with her going after Joel? She lost all of her friends. She lost all of her friends. She lost the society that she was established with and she was building a life with. She lost that.
Both of them did.
I know, but I'm just talking about Ellie right now. She lost all of that.
I feel like Ellie will go back and Tommy will take her in and all of that. She still got
but here's
somewhat of a family.
But here's the poetic.
She lost Dina and she lost the baby.
Hold on, and this is the poetic fucking tragedy, the Greek tragedy that is this fucking game. She lost more than Abby because the only reason why she went, or at least this is my interpretation, this could be completely wrong, but this is how I felt. At the very end, when she's choking out Abby, like about to kill her, she first sees Joel bleeding on the floor, blood, and she's like, fuck it, she needs to die. You know, that's what she saw. That's what she focused on. So then she turns around, she's like, we're going to fight. And then Abby's like, no, bro, fuck it. I'm done with this. I'm fucking done with this. She didn't say this, but in my mind, she was like, this was a mistake. My bad, dude. I'm done with this. I want to just leave. And then she's like, we're fighting. And then they have that whole fight. And then when she's choking her out, about to kill her, she doesn't see Joel anymore, bloody on the ground. What she sees is her last fucking communication with Joel, which was her literally telling Joel, I won't forgive you. And I hope that one day I can. So she realizes that this entire thing was her fucking battling herself, because she didn't need to go on it, because all Joel wanted was for her to live out her life happy, because he saw her as a daughter. That's all he wanted for her. And she killed Jesse. Jesse died because of her. Tommy's fucked up because of her. He can't walk right, and his eyes fucking popped out. He lost. Exactly. His wife, her wife left her. Her kid is gone. And dude, her fighting her made her bite off the last two fingers on her left hand. She's a right-handed guitarist. The only thing she has left of Joel is that fucking Pearl Jam song that she cannot play anymore. She cannot play that song anymore. She lost everything.
Yeah.
So like for me, I'm like, damn.
Abby realized it too. When she killed Joel, she lost a piece of her died as well.
You see it. You see it.
You see it. She has a lot of regrets from doing it. She had nightmares. She was just not feeling right. Like she had to atone for it. And to atone for what she did, she helped the scars out. What's her name? Yen? I forgot their names.
Zev. Yeah. Yev.
Yeah, she helps them out because she has regrets, so she wants to make up for it. So
exactly,
it's almost like it just didn't pay off, man. Like nothing paid off. Nothing. And Ellie learned that at the end, that it just didn't pay off.
It didn't pay off. She lost everything because of it. So that's why I think that the way they structured the story was good. I just think they needed to sprinkle a little bit more seasoning on it, just so that you care a little bit more. Because I see why people disconnect at the beginning, where they're like, fuck this, I don't want to play as this bitch.
Abby jumps in, I didn't want to play as her at all.
Exactly.
I hated her,
but the beauty, but the beauty of the design of the game is that
I didn't have to play the game. I just watched the cinematics. But I was like, at that point, it became how much is left on this?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to sit through 4 hours of this woman's story. Fuck.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Abby's personality better than Ellie's. Ellie's
Me
is
too.
a downer most of the time.
Too.
So I actually liked Abby is actually a little bit more upbeat. She's more positive. She's actually a better person. Like in like I don't know. She's just more active. Ellie's a downer, honestly.
Ellie becomes a downer in the second one because in the first one she's always upbeat and like.
No, she becomes.
No, she's a downer.
She's a downer.
Like,
her whole entire
not in the first one.
No, not in the first
one.
one.
Because remember that the majority of Ellie's story in the sequel is after the death of Joel.
Exactly. So like even in the setting of the game, the entire playthrough.
She was all pissy and.
Well, she's a little upset because she feels like she's being used by Dina because Dina took advantage of her sexuality and just to get out a rise out of what's his name,
Jesse.
Jesse. So she's feeling a little used by that. Obviously, at this point, she's found out that Joel had lied to her, so there's some friction there. Because at some point she went back and she found out the truth.
Yeah, and the last scene where she's talking to Joel, beautifully said. He told her, I would do it all over again, and he was like super serious about it when he said this. He's like, yes, but I would do that all over again. And that was a beautiful moment because she was upset with him, but she fucking loved him for saying that. You know what I mean? Like you could see it in the way the animation in this game is flawless. Like you could tell what these characters are thinking just by their fucking characters. You know what I mean? And you could tell that him saying that meant so much to her that she was like, I hope one day I could forgive you. That was the last thing she said to him, man. And then he was taken from her and she never was able to forgive. You know what I mean? That is a heavy weight, bro. That's heavy.
Technically, the last thing she said to him was, Joel, get up. But...
Oh, it's true. Yeah. The last thing is like, get the fuck up, Joel. Get the fuck up. Yeah, that was the last thing he said to him. But yeah, man. So, like, did you notice that all of Ellie was just dark, gloomy, and rain? All of it was in Seattle, so obviously, so it was all dark, gloomy, and rain the entire game. But then when you go to Abby, she goes to like woodlands. She goes to the rapids that became what's that place called? Seattle. She goes to the island of the Scars, which is beautiful, by the way. Up until the end when they put everything on fire, that shit was fucking tragic. You see a bunch of greenery, and it's like very beautiful. Her entire story is beautiful, like from the beginning of it, where she's with her father and they save a zebra. It's only beautiful. Like everything about her story is like positive. But you hate her, and you don't want to fucking like her. You know what I mean? I think that's genius. Like everything about it is positive, but you don't want to like her. You know?
I grew to like her. I grew to like her. I like Ellie a lot more because I guess from part one, and it's almost like I had more history with her because I know her better.
Yeah.
But as I got to know Abby better, I liked her personality and the way she kind of acted better as well.
Yeah, me too. Because
yeah.
I mean, look, what the first game was half the length of this one?
Yeah, because
if someone killed your father, what would you do? Right?
Yeah.
Or your family. You would go after them and you would fucking kill Joel. I would kill Joel.
And anybody that got in my way.
My story, and you're seeing somebody else's story.
But again,
who is right and who is wrong? Nobody.
Like okay, if I was making this story, all this flashback stuff, all this stuff where you're getting to know Abby, except for the reveal that her father was the surgeon, because I don't know who the fuck the surgeon was. The surgeon's wearing a surgeon's mask and a surgeon's hat. All that shit. Yeah. Like, all I need to know is right before you get to the mission where Abby kills Joel, is that her father. Because then at that point I go, oh shit, the person she's been hunting down this entire game is Joel.
Yeah.
You know, because that's
true. They don't tell you that.
They don't tell you. Yeah.
And I feel like that's like half of Abby's story.
Yeah, but I agree with you. But as playing,
now, obviously, you have to then get the second half of Abby's story with those scars and all that. But if I would have had, if of the 8 hours of footage and it's over 8 hours of footage that I was watching, if within that first half, and the death of Joel is an hour and something
into right at the beginning
into the cinematic.
Yeah.
But if instead of an hour and a half and we get to the death of Joel, if it would have been like 2 to 3 hours with some of Abby's backstory, and I'm getting to know Abby and I'm getting to like Abby, and then we get to the death of Joel, then I'm like, oh shit. But because we don't learn about Abby until after she's already killed Joel, who I just watched a 4.5 hour version of the game, getting to know Joel and Ellie. I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch coming in the beginning of season 2 and killing off my main character from season 1.
But that's the whole point. If you're playing the game, you want that bitch dead. You want her dead, bro. That's all right.
That's what makes the player keep playing.
I don't know, but as a story, it doesn't work that way. Now, if you introduce Abby at the beginning of season 2, and you're getting to know her, and she doesn't kill Joel until the mid-season finale, and that's when you find out, like, oh, by the way, you killed my dad.
When you're saying if the game started with Abby, right? You're playing as Abby, all this. You get to the point where you're trying to hunt this guy, but she won't really say like his name.
She won't say the name. You don't know who it is.
And then all of a sudden you grab, like it goes into cutscene. She grabs him, and then you start killing him. That's how you want the reveal. Like you want to get to know Abby first, get to Joel, kill him,
or
game
even if it's just like you get to the point where Abby meets Joel, and then we get the flashback of her father and Joel killing her father.
Yeah. No, I can see where you're coming from, but I personally like the oh shit moments in this game, like the twists. Because there was when I found out that her dad was the surgeon, I went, oh shit, you know. When you find out that
the game fucked with me.
When you find out that Tommy is that sniper that you're trying to fucking kill, I go, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like I fucking hated that sniper until I found out it was Tommy. I was like, oh fuck, I don't hate that guy. I love that guy.
Yeah. But again, like if I'm doing this as a TV series, which rumor has it that's what they're doing, and Last of Us is season 1. In season 2, I introduce Abby. I do split timeline, like what's been done in a few different things. Split timeline. We're following Abby, and we're also following Ellie and seeing what she's kind of doing right now. But we're following Abby in the past, right? And you kind of tell the story, and then Abby shows up right near the middle of season 2, and then right then that's when you go like, oh, this is Abby, and now she's met our other guys. And then at the end of that mid-season finale is when you find out Abby's father is the guy that Joel killed to save Ellie.
Yeah.
And then that's when Abby kills Joel. Mid-season cliffhanger. We're coming back with the second half of season 2. Abby's on the run, having done what she already did. Ellie wants revenge. You know, that's your second half of the second season.
Yeah.
But because that happens in episode 2. Now now you're gonna make me watch Abby's backstory, knowing that she killed Joel.
You know what? I agree with you, but you know what I would have done? Like if I stuck to this format, which I thoroughly would have changed just the format of the game entirely. But if I stick to this format, I would have been, when you interact with Joel for the first time as Abby, I would have given that at least like 30 minutes of actual storytelling gameplay for you to actually understand that, like, think Allie's a good person, all that shit, up until she finds out that it's Joel, and then she flips on it. The only problem is that you're not sympathetic with Abby at all because she's just a bad guy. You know what I mean? That was the only thing. But it's by design. I understand why they did it. It's by design.
Yeah, and by design, it was a bad choice.
I don't think so. I don't think it was, because I felt
I think it was done like that to teach you a lesson.
Exactly.
I think the player a lesson. Because you
but has it taught people a lesson, or has it alienated a good amount of the fan base?
No,
to the point where a good amount of the fan base is upset.
No. Every single person that I've met that has played it or seen it, they enjoyed it. The people who are alienating it are just trolls who just read the spoilers and don't want to fucking give it a time of day. We have a friend.
I've seen plenty of gameplay footage that looks like the people are upset with it.
Yeah, because they read the fucking spoilers. But if you go into it blind,
I haven't read spoilers. So.
Exactly.
But I know that I watched the video, and on my YouTube front page is like just a list of videos of like bashing.
Yeah, because that's what's hot right now.
But check this out. I guarantee you they'll buy the third one that comes out.
Absolutely, they will.
You'll have to wait and see.
It gets people interested, whether it develops haters or not. It still sold 7 million copies on the first day it came out.
Yeah, it's killing it. It's
absolutely insane. So whether they hate it or not, that's a good story.
Apparently
you could discuss it.
Apparently, it broke records for sales like on its first weekend out.
Yeah,
But apparently, those sales numbers have dropped dramatically.
Well, I mean, because everyone already bought it. You're not going to buy two copies of the same game.
But it basically, it's like everybody that was going to buy the game bought the game, and there's no word of mouth getting other people who maybe weren't thinking about buying it to buy it. Is what it is.
Oh,
Because
well,
the first
they're
one,
missing
the
out.
first one may not have broken any records when it first came out, but like it had a steady set of sales for a period of time.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's like, yep, everybody who was going to buy the game bought the game, and now it's just next week you'll find used copies at GameStop for.
Oh no, you're definitely gonna have those kind of people, but those people, I fucking chop it down to, they just don't want to like the game, because if you accept it for what it is, it's a fucking great. It's first off, the gameplay is amazing. It's just fucking amazing, and second off, the fucking story. Even if you don't agree with what they did, they've. It's not a broken script. It's fucking really functional. They make you care about shit.
It, you don't have to like it, but you got to just understand it.
Exactly.
Why
I understand.
Does it leave it open for a part 3?
Not really. Not really.
Yeah, the two main characters are still alive.
Yeah, but like they learned a fucking lesson.
I mean,
revenge is
the,
bad.
The girl are still exploring. Abby and one of the scars, they're still exploring.
Well, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing that makes her fucking tale tragic. Because she was looking for the Fireflies, and guess who the Firefly was? They were the Rattlers, fucking just tricking her, and then they just picked her up and put her in a fucking prison.
Well, not only are like they still alive, but also like in a game in this world, like you can pick any random person, and that's your main character.
Yeah, but I don't. They tried doing that with with Uncharted. They had like a spin-off series, and nobody gave a fuck about that game. That game was just swept under the rug.
Are we going to talk about the biggest thing here? I don't know how you guys missed this point, but how Abby lost all her games at the end.
Yeah, she got poor girl, man. That girl looks so
I
fucking.
thought this whole podcast was about
dude. Did remember the? I don't know. Did you get tricked at the very end at the pillars? Did you get tricked also? Because when you're walking through the pillars, there's one girl all the way with the ponytail, and
that's the one I went up to. Yeah,
that's the one I went to also, and then I was the wrong one, and he turned around and this scrawny ass, almost dead bitch on a fucking pillar. Like, fuck, man, was this right? If
she was still bulked up, she would have beaten Ellie, bro. Ellie would have lost for real.
Yeah, she would have for sure.
Yeah,
for sure she will. For sure she would have.
Yeah, hand-to-hand combat for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Well, also, if she hadn't been tied to a post for however long she was tied there,
that's what I'm saying.
Dehydrating in front of the ocean.
She was sunburned too. She was disgusting and dehydrated, and she still put up a fight. So
yeah, those.
Ellie was bleeding.
Yeah, she got stabbed in the fucking liver, man.
Yeah,
dude,
she was
it's
bleeding
just
for
brutal,
hours.
man. This whole entire game is just brutal, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's like, how the fuck do these people keep going, bro? All for revenge, bro.
Also, Evan, just to throw some more fucking shit out there. Did you notice that as they kind of make Ellie the bad guy in this game? Have you noticed that every time Ellie kills somebody, their teammates scream out their name? Like, it makes it real. Like, oh no, Jacob.
Yeah,
they got Jacob. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah, they're trying to humanize everybody that's dying.
Exactly. Even the dog. They're like, Bear. And you play it. You go play catch with the bear, with the dog Bear 4 times before you have to. You're forced to kill that dog, bro. Ellie's a bitch.
Yeah, it kind of makes you hate everybody. Like
that's the reality of
the biggest lesson is revenge does nothing. It doesn't. Revenge it leads to nothing. It makes you lose more than you gain. She lost her the ability to play guitar, which
was the only thing that Joel left her.
Exactly. So she lost the most precious thing because she went after some chick that killed Joel, and then
she went after the guy that killed her father. Was what it is. Like at the end of the day, say whatever you want. She went after the guy that killed her father, and I can't blame her for that.
No,
because I would fucking do that.
I can't, but that's what makes the ending so heavy, because she realizes that the reason why he saved her in the first place is that she could live her life, and her life is fucking destroyed. Remember in the first one where you meet Sam and his big brother. Remember the black kid?
Yeah.
So he talks to Sam, and they're talking about like what they're most scared of. You remember what Ellie tells Sam?
Being alone.
Being alone, dude. And what'd she get at the end, bro? The bitch is all alone, man. She lost everything, bro.
She's all alone. She'll go over to Tommy's. Tommy will, take care of her for a little bit. She still got her uncle, and then from there.
Do they show Joel's brother again?
He's all fucked up.
He's the one that came to tell her that he found out where Abby is, but they can't go after her.
Yeah, he can't do it anymore because his kneecap got shot through with an arrow, and he lost his right eye.
Ooh. I used to be an adventurer, but I took an arrow to the
knee. Literally. That poor guy, man. Yeah, man. that shit makes it heavy, dude. All that shit makes it heavy. And Ellie's she only goes back to it because she can't sleep, she can't eat, she has PTSD from it. She let this fucking killer go, and she never got revenge on her. And her life is in shambles. She can't live her life, to the point where there's a segment where you're holding her son, and they're trying to round up the cattle, like the fucking sheeps, into the barn. And one of the sheeps knocked down a fucking a shovel, and it makes this loud clanking sound. And all she remembers is Joel getting beaten to death with a fucking a golf club. So she has some severe PTSD, and she can't let it go. So she feels like she needs to do this revenge thing up until when she can get her revenge, and she's just broken. Everything's gone. She's like, oh, it's so fucking heavy. This is Joker Part 2, bro. This is a sad ass story, man.
I mean, it's a post-apocalyptic world, man. What do you?
No, but the first one
expect?
is filled with hope. Everything like there's a segment where you're petting giraffes. It's beautiful, man.
I mean,
and it's just hope. And in this one, there's no hope.
All those post-apocalyptic stories are filled with hope. There's always somebody that has the cure to whatever, and then turns out that no, they don't, or that person dies, or whatever. Yeah.
Oh well.
That's all those stories, man.
Yeah,
but I got a final thought question for you guys. Let's say COVID brings the apocalypse.
Oh shit!
Which character are you gonna be most like from The Last of Us?
Fuck.
From
if I'm being real right now,
we're being real.
Joel,
for really real.
I'm one of the guys that died out in front of the hospital when a COVID infected zombie took me out.
Oh, speaking of, I want to actually touch on this. That scene where they go to Ground Zero is the creepiest fucking segment in that game, bro. When they go into the emergency ward in the hospital, holy shit, was that terrifying, man?
Is that in Part 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They go to Ground Zero, and there's like this one cordyceps zombie thing that kind of morphed into 4 or 5 different zombie things, and they're like this big hulking mass of a fucking human. It's so gross, and oh my god, me going in there, I was like, nah, I don't want to do this, bro. I don't want to go in there, bro.
What you got to play now is Days Gone.
Days Gone is fucking good.
Yeah,
but oh my god,
it's gonna pull on you. It's gonna pull on your heartstrings as well.
Yeah,
it's very similar actually. It's very similar to The Last of Us. It's almost like
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
same thing. Zombies.
Okay.
Oh, and also that hotel. When you go to that hotel next to the Ground Zero outbreak, the hospital, where they tell you very little about it, but it's told through scenario, the setting, where you're in this big ass hotel, but the inside of the hotel, the middle of it is completely destroyed, and the reason for it is because there was an outbreak at the basement level of the hotel, and they tried collapsing the hotel completely, and the structure didn't collapse. So the middle of the hotel is completely destroyed, and you're playing as a character who's terrified of heights. So the entire time you're playing, you're if you look down, your perspective in the game gets fucked up, and you could kill yourself to do it. That shit was fucking genius, man. It was so good, dude. So fucking good.
When do you think these games are gonna be VR friendly?
They are. Well, not this one, but if you ever played Resident Evil 7, that shit's super VR. As a matter of fact, you should play that on VR. It's the best way to play it.
Nice.
That shit scared the fuck out of me.
But that thing looks.
That shit scared the fuck out of me, bro. Fuck that. So yeah, final thoughts. I gave this game a fucking 9 out of 10. It was fantastic, masterpiece.
I give it a 8.5 out of 10.
All right, just to be different, I got you.
Judging it just based on story and not having played the game itself, and so I can't judge the gameplay. I'm sticking with my 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
that's fair. That's fair.
It's not a bad score.
Yeah,
it's a 70%.
No, it's not. Seven's good. Seven's good. I don't hate on that. There's people out there who are, dude. Did you also read the hate for it? About they were saying if you read the spoiler before the game came out, they just said Joel gets beaten to death by a transsexual woman or transgender woman, whatever it is. That was a reason to hate it. Who gives a fuck? No, it's not. She's not transgender. She's just a buff-ass chick.
I can't. It seems to me like she's just a buff chick, but isn't she in love with that guy friend of hers?
Yeah,
married to the
she's
pregnant
not,
girl or whatever.
she's not transgender. It's just people fucking hate.
Yeah.
The kid that she saved.
Yeah, they have sex. There's a scene where they have sex.
Right, but I'm saying she was in love with him, so it's not like she's But again, the one that's trans is the kid that she saves.
Yeah,
who's on the run because he's trans. Because he was supposed to be a child bride.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a child bride to one of the bishops or whatever it is for that cult.
For that
the elders,
cult or whatever. And he's like, fuck that, I'm out because I don't even feel like I'm a woman.
And they do that, and they did that shit so tastefully too, because it's not like shoved down your throat. It's just like a piece of dialogue that is explained. Yeah. She's like, why are they trying to kill you? Because I shaved my head. What? Why are they trying to kill you because they shaved their head? And then you talk to his sister, and she's like, no, because he was set up to be the bride to one of the elders, and he doesn't feel like he wanted to do that. He wanted to be a hunter like me, so he shaved his head, and they didn't like that, so they're trying to kill him. And that's all it was. And people were hating on that because get out of here.
You know what they didn't expand on? That the Scar, their religion too much. They didn't expand on that too much. Like, why do they worship?
Well, because I feel like if you start expanding on what their religion is, you might start touching some points on some real religions that you don't want to touch points on.
Exactly.
So you
they seem pretty Amish because they don't believe in technology and all that shit. They live in like wooden houses and shit.
Yeah, but they keep praising this one woman. What about her?
Well, they do. If you read there's a bunch of like letters throughout the game, and if you read all of them,
I just didn't get a good picture of what.
What it is she defied Abraham. It's Abraham, right? The one from the wolves.
I don't remember.
Whatever. She defied him, and what she wanted was a more peaceful society, quote unquote. And her entire society that she was trying to build up was based off peace. But after she died, they used her death as a martyr to manipulate it into a militia. Like they became a militia, and that's what what's his name? The transgender boy. What's his name?
Lev, I think.
Lev, something like that. Well, that's Lev, because So Lev was saying is like, this is not what our religion's about. We're about peace. We just want to cleanse the land. We want to rebuild. But the people, my people, have turned it into a way of like just eliminating everybody. Instead of like working with each other.
As happens with all
religion. That's
with all regimes.
Exactly.
You know how it's a good game that we could have an hour and a half long conversation about it almost. Well, like an hour long.
1 hour because we started at the half hour.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's not a bad story. I just don't agree with the way they told it.
Yeah,
I would have told it differently. I would have changed any of the story elements.
Yeah,
the story elements are all fine.
So
I just would have changed the way in which it was told.
The pacing,
so this is what I would have.
The order. I would have edited differently.
Organization. Yeah.
This is. I wanted to bring this up, but I forgot to say it. But if I were to design the structure of how the game is told, I would have given you an option to play the original version or a segmented version where you play an entire playthrough of only Ellie all the way up until you kill or you let Abby live. And then once you're done with that, instead of giving you New Game Plus, you play Abby's story. And then you play the entire game as Abby. And that way you have two separate entities of their storyline. And you're not manipulated to like one or the other.
Yeah, but how many people realistically do you think would have gone back and played Abby's story after playing the game all the way through the end?
Yeah, that's true.
Me.
I would have, but there's some people that wouldn't. I would definitely would. I'm a gamer, obviously, but there's some people that like casual gamers or somebody's.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, no, you make a good point. Yeah, a lot of people would just be turned off by the fact, especially because a lot of people think that Ellie should have killed Abby at the end, which for me is ludicrous. That completely destroys. There's no point.
I'm telling you, I still think the proper thing to do would have been, you need to make me care about Abby before she kills Joel.
Yeah.
And the little bit of game that we got of Abby before that happens was not enough to make me care about.
I agree. I agree with you there. Yeah, I agree with you. But I understand why they did it. I agree with you, but I understand why they did it. They wanted you to hate her.
Yeah, they wanted you. They wanted you to get to love her after you hated her so much that you wanted her dead.
Yeah. That's what it is.
It's like the governor or Negan, right? Like, and we talk about Walking Dead. You talk about like those early Walking Dead. They tried to give you a backstory on the governor. They tried to make you like the governor after his storyline, and it didn't work. So with Negan, they're just like, fuck it, toss it out the window. We don't need to get into Negan's backstory.
Yeah, but that's what makes these two mediums different. When you're this is technically an interactive movie. You know what I mean? You're playing the movie, and you care about this character because you are this character. Like it or not, you're playing as her. You don't want your character to die because you're playing as her. So like that's
but I
what
have to
makes
want to be the character.
right.
And
But
at that point, I didn't.
But if you're playing it, you don't want to lose the game. You want to beat the game. So you're forced. The game is literally forcing you to do shit you don't want to. Up until you get to a point where you just want to save Lev, at the end where they're trying to go save his mom. Remember, you want to save them. You want to as a matter of fact, at the end is the most redeeming quality of Abby comes out in the end, where she's like, "Fuck the wolves. The wolves are a fucking piece of shit organization. I want to save these kids because these kids got the right." You know what I mean? One of them loses their arm, and she sacrifices everything to save her and their mom, even though it's a suicide mission. You know what I mean? Because the mom is so devoted and shit. So like you see all this thing. Even at the very end, the first thing she does when she gets cut off of the pole is go straight to Lev. She's like, she wants to save Lev. So it's like very reminiscent of Last of Us 1 with Ellie and Joel. It's the same dynamic. And that's what I think. That's why this shit is just brilliant. It's just fucking brilliant. As much as you hate this bitch, at the end you fucking sympathize with her, and you kind of like, oh fuck, I hate that I feel these ways. Did you guys know that was a Pearl Jam song? The "If I Ever Were to Lose You."
I mean, I didn't see it, so
Pearl Jam's got such a large catalog, and that if it's not like one of the major ones, I don't.
It came out. That album came out in 2011. This game is based on 2013, so they made it accurate.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it is in Seattle, so I mean, you kind of.
If it's a 2011 Pearl Jam song, that's probably why I don't know it.
Yeah. I recognize the song, but I'm like, dude, I don't know where this is from. And then later, I found out at the very end when you look at the credits, they credit Pearl Jam, and while you're playing the game, you go into a record shop, and it says there's a huge advertisement for that album of Pearl Jam, and then it kind of just like, it's a little Easter egg.
I can't say I've really listened to any Pearl Jam outside of the 90s.
No, it's still good. But anyway.
Anyways, guys, we've been at this now for a good while, so I think we're gonna end things here. George, thank you so much for coming on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Anytime any other game that you want to come in, you want to talk about, just give us some time, a little bit of a heads up, so we can do some research, and we'd be happy to have you on again, man.
Awesome.
Truly a pleasure having you here. Pedro, any parting words?
If you haven't played Last of Us 2, do it.
Do it.
Mm-hmm. Even if we've spoiled the game, just play it, because the game itself is fantastic.
Or do like me. If you don't own a PlayStation, then there's plenty of YouTube sites that have all the storyline loaded on there. I watched an 8-hour and change version. I saw there was a 10-hour version on there, which I'm assuming just has a lot more of the gameplay stuff in it. But other than that, anything you guys want to talk about next week? Any homework assignments you guys want to give?
And Panta Black.
Anyways, hit us up in the Facebook group. Like I said, hey, we got the first half hour of the show came right out of the Facebook group. You guys keep posting in there. We'll keep talking about it on the show. If there's anything you guys want to hear us talk about, go ahead and let us up with that as well. Follow us at We Ain't Found Sith on basically everywhere.
Yep.
If you're watching this on Facebook, obviously that's one way to watch it. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like what you saw, go ahead and click that subscribe button down at the bottom. Make sure you ring the bell so that you get notified whenever we put up a new episode. And hey, what's up, man?
What's up? Back, what's up?
There it is. Anyways, until next time, I've been your host. My name's Evan, joined by Pedro and Gus and George. And enjoy your week, guys. Enjoy your Independence Day. Go out there.
Don't
kick
blow
back a
yourselves
few
up.
beers and eat some hot dogs and enjoy celebrate the 4th and wear a damn mask.
American
Yes.
made in the U.S. of A.
Later.
Bye.
Later.
We Ain't Found Sith. Warning, the following podcast contains speculation which may be confused with spoilers, although it may also contain spoilers. You have been warned.